Hey, my YouTube family. This is Sarge coming at you once again. Right in front of you is a box that I received today from the music room. Let me shut this door in case the dogs start barking. Alright, I received this today from the music room. I first saw it on AudioGon, and the AudioGon price was $900. I said, man, that's not a bad deal. It's an integrated amp. I said, that's not a bad deal. Retail price was $1,200. I think it came out a couple years ago. But the guy who posted it on Instagram, on AudioGon, he didn't describe the amp any kind of way. He didn't say how long he had it. He didn't say anything about the amp. And he had one sentence. I think it said lightly used. That was it. And to sell a product, all you can say about the product is lightly used. You know, I'm kind of leery about that. So that was off AudioGon for $900. It's a beautiful integrated amp. Sell your used gear here, AudioGon. Getting fast support. Not AudioGon, the music room. The music room. I first saw this on AudioGon for $900. I said, that's not a bad price for that beautiful amp. I think it's 45 watts integrated amp. This thing is triple boxed. You see a lot of that lately, amps being triple boxed. It's good. It's a good thing that it is triple box. Triple box for shipping goods. I think it's only 3 boxes. 3 boxes. Alright. But I didn't buy it off AudioGon because of that one sentence, lightly used or whatever. And I seen the same amp on the music room for a little more money. I feel safe going with music room because they're like the middleman between you, the seller. Between you and the seller is music room, whereas AudioGon is just you and the seller. And I know that music room, they're going to test everything that comes in. They're going to make sure it's quality, it's built nice. They can make sure that it sounds nice before they sell it under their brand. So I have faith in music room. I'll pay a little more money for that kind of assurance. So instead of paying $900 off of AudioGon with that one little sentence, I feel safer going through the music room. I've dealt with them for like, I don't know, probably 10 years now. I got a lot of stuff from the music room. They guarantee their products. Here's the remote. It's a nice remote. Alright, let's dig this amp out of here. Do I need another integrated amp? Heck no. But for this price and the beauty of this amp, I had to go with it. It came today in 2 boxes. This box was in a bigger box. And this box holds the vacuum tubes. Yes, it's a tube integrated amp. How many do I have here now? I have the Oil Lily. I have the Wilson, 3 Wilson's, the R8, the R300, and the R800i. So the R8, R300B, and the R800i. So I had 3 integrated amps from Wilsonton. The old Lily. I think that's it as far as integrated amps. Tube, I had the solid state, probably the best integrated amp that I ever heard. The Luxman, I think it's the XA590 Mark II. That is the best sounding integrated amp that I ever heard, and I had that. It competes with separates. So this amp, I'm not looking to improve my system. It's just a different quality of sound that it's going to bring to my system. I know it's not going to improve my system. I know that for a fact. But I like bringing different tunes and different sounds into my system. So I'm not looking for this amp to improve what I already have. It's not going to do that. But I love different components coming into my room, bringing different sound, different qualities. All right, so this bad boy, I heard it's pretty heavy. Ain't that bad. So we're gonna put this box back there. I think it's like 46, 47 pounds, something like that. I didn't see a manual. Might not be a manual. Well, I got 3 reviews off Google, so I don't think it came with a manual. So we're going to install the amps, install the tubes rather, and the amp. So I'll show you what it is. So what I paid for it off this thing is drop dead gorgeous. And that $900 sold me off Audio Gun. But I didn't go with Audio Gun. Let me make sure you can see this. This thing is beautiful. Make sure I got this set right. This is an Lsa Vt 70 integrated amp. Cage comes off. I never use cages on my amps. I love the cageless look. Alright, so this is the LSA. LSA stands for, let me get my chair right. Drop dead gorgeous amp. LSA stands for Living Sound Audio. Tell me that ain't beautiful. And the price, once again, Audio Gun was $900. I didn't feel safe buying that from the owner off Audio Gun. He didn't say a thing about the amp. And that's just between me and the seller. Audio Gun is the buyer and the seller. Whereas the music room, they're between you and the seller. And they're going to test it before they put it out there and guarantee that it's working fine. Alright? I don't know about that. First time seeing that in like you had plugs. Like these are plugs or whatever in the input tubes and the output input and driver tubes. Alright, see how that works out. Alright, so we're going to install the tubes. It comes with EL34s, but it also can run 6550s and KT88s. I might try some 6550s later on, but I'll stick with the EL34s. EL34 I think is a better sounding tube than the KT88s. I got some nice sound in a 6550, so I'll try them later. So you're going to find a little notch on your little stem here. Line that up with the notch. Make sure they're firmly seated. Sometimes I use gloves putting in tubes, sometimes I don't. I just wipe them off before I amp up. Wipe the tubes off. Firmly seated. Like I said, the tubes came in their own separate box. These are EL34 output tubes. Very sweet sounding tube. It's probably my favorite tube next to the 300Bs is the EL34s. I got 6550s here, KT70s, KT66, KT120s, KT150s. It's probably my favorite output tube. I say outside of 300B is the EL34s. So this tube we're going to go in place where I last played the All Lilies in the Wilsonton 300B. And they were 8 watts each. The Wilsonton and the All Lily was 8 watts each. I think this amp puts out 45 watts. So it's be like night and day for me from going from 2 8 watts amps to a 45 watt amp. That's like night and day. So I got one here marked V7. So this will be a driver tube. This is the E7 driver tube. You got a gap here on the faceplate of the amp. As you can see the pinholes, and you have a gap. See that gap there? See the gap? Same gap you're going to have here on your tube. So that's how you line it up. Gap to gap. There we go. I'm going to find that gap. That's firmly in place. I got a V6 next. And they got the marked V6, V7, V5. I'm glad they did that. I wouldn't have no idea which tube to go where. So this is the 12AX7. This is the input tube. That's V6. Last one is V5. This is a driver tube. Box marked V5. I think it's a 12AU7. Yes, that's a driver. That's a driver tube. It's a 12AU7. That's going to go here. So your input tube with 12AX7. The driver tubes, these are 12AU7s. They're going to drive this driver tube. Going to drive these two output tubes. This driver tube is going to drive these two output tubes. This is the input tube. It's going to send the signal to your driver tubes. And the driver tube is going to drive the output tubes. 45 watts per channel. All right. This amp is not self-biasing, so you got to bias it yourself. So you got V1. It's probably for this V1 to this tube. See this little switch here, so the V1, V2. And this is V1, and this is V2, V3, V4. So this little switch I'm going to toggle down for the first tube. I'm going to toggle up for the second tube. You can stick a screwdriver for V1 in this little hole. You can see that. And one in this little hole for V2 to adjust your bias. And it has two VU meters. One is for the when you see the needles jump with the music playing, that's your VU meter that's telling you the output. Also, it can be used as a bias meter also. Let me see here. You got your on-off. You got your headphone. You got a headphone input. This is your on-off switch. This is your meter for your VU meters when they're doing their thing, dancing to the music, showing you the output of the tubes. Switch this down. That's going to be bias. You tell you how to set your bias for the screwdriver. You can watch your meter also. It's a little different kind of selector switch. A CD, aux 1, aux 2. It's your volume knob, your power switch. All right. I thought I read somewhere where you could use this to send a signal to a outboard sub. So I'm gonna switch it around. So this is the front of the Lsa Vt 70, the 45 watt integrated amp. All right, I'm gonna switch it around. Look at the back of it. And we'll learn together what's back here. All right. So it does have a CD input, aux 1, aux 2, and a pre-out. And the pre-out I heard was for a powered sub or whatever. I heard it was not to drive a dedicated power amp. Gotta do more research on that. But the model VT70 vacuum tube integrated amplifier, you got the 8 ohm taps, 4 ohm taps, and ground. My current speakers now, this detect time LoRa signature, they're 8 ohms. So I had this 8 ohm and the ground, regular IEC. So that pre-out, I gotta do some research on that. I read, someone said that, I might have read this somewhere, or it might have been on YouTube, that you can't use this input to drive a dedicated power amp. I think it's made for power subs only. We'll see about that. I have to research on that one. But this amp is drop dead gorgeous. It's got a few little rust spots on this side of on this transformer. Look at this. But other than that, the amp is drop dead gorgeous. Like I said, I saw it first on Audio Gun, but the seller didn't do a good job of selling it. So I punched in the same model, this model number, and it came up that the music room had one. So instead of paying $900, with shipping included off the music room, I paid $1,200. I think this amp came out a couple of years ago, and the retail price was $1,200. So I bought this amp used for the same price it called brand new. But with that peace of mind that if something go wrong, I can always contact the music room. Whereas myself and the seller one-on-one would be a lot more difficult. So I feel a peace of mind, ease of mind, knowing that I got the music room to fall back on, not just me and the seller. So I buy most of my used stuff. I used to go to Audiogon and eBay years ago. But if I can find it on the music room, that's my first choice, because they're the middleman between you and the seller. So the music room's top notch. I got a lot of stuff from the music room in this room. Alright, let's see what I got from the music room. I got that Prima Luna from the music room, and I got that Macintosh from the music room, the 402. What else came from the music room? I got that Macintosh CD player, the MCD 550 from the music room. I got that Audio Research CD player, CD9 from the music room. I got that Macintosh MDA 1000 DA converter from the music room. I got this Luxman, I think the 590 XA from the music room. That's my favorite integrated amp. It sounds just as good as separates. I got this down below here, Mark Levinson from the music room. That's a 335. I got this Audio Research VT80 from the music room. That's an all-tube power amp. That's from the music room. What else from the music? That's probably it from the music room. So I got a lot of stuff here from the music room. I got the confidence, peace of mind that they stand behind this product, that it's going to work properly. Whereas eBay and Audiogon, I'll go there if the music room don't have it, if I see something that I really like. But my first choice is used equipment. I'll go to my store, first of all, Overtures, if they have something used. But that Overtures don't carry a lot of used stuff. I don't advertise a lot of used stuff. But outside of Overtures, I get a lot of my new stuff from Overtures. What I got from Overtures here? Let's go to Overtures. The Oppo UDP 205's Overtures. That 402 Macintosh Overtures. This Macintosh preamp, the Overtures. That's the C2300. The two Macintosh 275s on the floor. That's Overtures. The Past Lab. That's Overtures. My VPI Classic 3 turntable. That's Overtures. My Martin Logan speakers are back here. The SL3s. That's Overtures. That's the Oppo from Overtures, but it's been modified by Mod Right Instruments, Dan Wright. That's the outboard power supply right here. That's my Aero Solo, which is currently in sleep mode. That's my Prima Luna. Evo 100, all tube deck, 2 rectified, 2 clop internally. That's my TX 3340S, built in 1973, still going strong. This is my LS28. This is an Audiogon purchase. LS28 SE preamp. That's my Macintosh MCD 550, and that I got a crack in my glass on this corner here, and I never saw before until last month. I don't know how I got there. See that crack? I had no idea how that crack got there. I just noticed it about a month ago. That's my moderate modifications. Bridge, analog bridge. That's a, I have 3, I forgot what you call them, but that's a PS Audio conditioner. That's a PS Audio 3.5 director conditioner. That back there is a Shanyata V-Ray V2 conditioner. Back here is a PS Audio Premier AC regenerator. That's the outboard phono stage to my VPI turntable. It's a My Right Instruments 9.0. Beside that is the outboard power supply to the phono stage. My Macintosh MDA 1000. One of the best CD players ever built. The Auto Research CD9. Some of my extra gear over here in the corner underneath the Classic 3 turntable from BPI is a Musical Fidelity. That's the KW500 integrated amp with the outboard power supply, which is down there. That's a beautiful, it's a nice integrated amp that has to get repaired. Below that is my Denon receiver, flagship. I forgot the model number. You have the PS Audio, not PS Audio, the Burston memory player, Conrad Johnson phono stage, PS Audio DAC, Conrad Johnson DAC, Conrad Johnson preamp. Below that is the Cambridge Audio server, CXV2 I think it is. Below that is another preamp from Conrad Johnson. My reference speakers, Wilson Audio Up 8s, the best speakers that I ever owned. Will never part with. They're my flagship. Had not heard them for over a year now. Between the neck speakers, the Paul Audio LS15s, which is one of them's covered with a Trial or Lab t-shirt, and the head. They're nice sounding speakers. And the Eclipse 484s, they're one of them. Another one over there. I got the Whistleton covered up. I have the Auto Research covered up, tubes, so the speaker don't have tubes singing. This is all my extra gear that I have. That's the Wilsonton 800i, I believe it is, integrated amp. R8s on top. Let's move this photograph. This is what my wife got me from New Orleans. Went down to the Mardi Gras. There's 3 of these. She bought from my music room. It's Conrad Johnson MV60 tube power amp under the Macintosh C2300 preamp. That's the Macintosh MX135. It's a control center. I love the way it sounds in 2-channel mode. That's my mod right power amp, the KW 150 SE. My Macintosh. And this is my first Prima Luna product. This is the Dialogue or Prologue 5. I bought this for like $900. It was on sale at Upscale Audio. And this caused me to buy the other 2 Prima Lunas and the Evo 100 DAC. I said, if this thing sound this good as the entry level, I can imagine how good their higher dollar, higher product, higher end stuff sound. And I was correct on that purchase, because that sounds awesome. And that runs all kind of tubes also, EL34s, KT88s, KT77s, KT66, KT90s, KT88s. They didn't recommend KT150s, but I heard of people who use KT150s also in this amp. So this is what I do. This is my CD collection. One time I had over 3,000 CDs. And I still play CDs. That's my little CD collection. And this is where I'm using. This is the home noun of my All Lily A300B tube amp. I'm running that with my HP laptop. Also, I'm using the P3 Audio Grand preamp, because I got the laptop coming out both ways. This is from the headphone input going straight into the Audio Lily. This is the USB input going into the P3 Audio, then up to the Audio Lily via interconnect, because the Audio Lily don't have a USB input. I'm using the P3 Audio. I might go from the P3 Audio to the PS Audio Digital Link 3 DAC, which has a USB input. Alright, so this is what I do. These are all my magazines that I subscribe to. This bunch here is all the Absolute Sound. There are my books from Robert Harley. That's my stuff from Robert Harley. Alright, that's my MacBook Pro, which goes straight to the Prima Luna DAC. This is my vinyl collection, vinyl and reel-to-reel. Back in this corner is all my jazz books that I bought, and my Stereophile magazine collection. I since stopped subscribing to the Stereophile. And that's my Jazz Times and Downbeat magazines down below. Also have a reel-to-reel back in the back. It's a 7-inch reel-to-reel TAC. And this is my 10-inch reel-to-reel TAC. What more can I cover? All these beads came from my trip last month to the Mardi Gras, New Orleans. My wife received these beads without showing her boobs. Alright, let's uncover this. Now my intent here was see, that's the R8 on top, Wilsonton. Below that is a power amp, 2 power amp Dynaco SC70s. That will be a giveaway on my channel. Below that is another Donico SC70. I think those are my very first two power amp. It's mint green and lime green. I might hold on to that. And below that, you can't see it, but I have like two more Donicos that'll be giveaway on this channel. So stay tuned for the giveaways on my channel. Just trying to give back to my community. I've been very fortunate over the years to garner a lot of products, a lot of gear, a lot of equipment. Been blessed. So that's my way of giving back. And that's not top-notch stuff, but somebody out there, I think, would be pretty glad to get something like that. All right, so this is my LSA, which stands for Living Sound Audio. New product from the music room. It's a 45 watt integrated amp. I'm ready to throw it in the system, and we'll go from there. I'll report back. Sarge, USMC, name of the channel, Next Match Stereo. Stay tuned, more to come down the pipe. Peace. Summer 5.